In this video, we are going to talk about the real-time report in GA4. For that reason, I changed my default created account to the Google Merchandise demo account. How to set that up, I showed you a few videos before. Here I have my home screen, and I now switch to the Reports tab and then click on Real Time. And here I have my report, my real-time report. You can also manipulate it a bit by Googling Google Merchandise Store and clicking on the Merchandise Store. Then it should be, of course, one person more. But keep an eye on your cookies, because of course you need to remove the cookies first, otherwise you are a visitor that already was there. So now it should be a new visitor. Okay, cookie notification is alright, no problem. It's loading a bit long, but there should be one person more in a second or so. Okay, that's just to see if there's nobody online. You can visit the page yourself, and then there should somebody be. Here we can see the users in the last 30 minutes. We also see the device down there, so desktop, mobile, but also tablet. Here we can also see this little map and can zoom in there. For example, I want to see how many people are there from Europe. We see none. Some from Abu Dhabi or one from there. Then we have an 8 from New York. We have a few from Santa Clara, and so on and so on. We see the users filtered by first user source, which means that we can see the source of first users. And here we have the direct, which means that people typed in the Google Merchandise Store, but not in Google like this. That would be the Google way. But they just typed in Google Merchandise Store.com, which is a direct search for the 4 users. We also can see free newsletter people. So there was a newsletter sent out, and 3 people clicked on this newsletter and were redirected to the shop. 1 person came from Bing, and this one is Art Analytics App Spot, which means basically, I think it's some testing or so, but otherwise you can Google it if you don't know what this source is. We can also click on this drop-down menu and not only search first user source, but also first user medium, which is of course email and organic. Organic would be the Google search, none would be to just type in the search bar. We have first user campaign, which is the birthday newsletter in this case, source, platform, but also source and medium, so we can choose what we want to see here. We can see the audience and new users and users. We see that we have 43 new users, and none of them bought something, so non-purchasers. 1 user in San Francisco, and from all users it's 110. 93 of them added something to cart. 96 of them are recently active users, and 55 of them made an engagement. And 14 of them bought something, so are purchasers. We see views by page title, so the page shopping cart was viewed 97 times, home was 82 times, and so on and so on. And even like sale, new category, man, unisex apparel, and so on and so on. We see the different events, which is 856 in total. View promotion, page view, user engagement, and so on and so on. So even like self-made events like view promotion, we can see here. We see the conversions, which is first visit, add payment info, and begin checkout. So first visit means that 40 people had this event first visit. Add payment information means they had something in cart and already added payment information. Then they started checkout, which means they were ready to buy, and 4 of them purchased. So from this 16 people that added their payment information, 4 bought, which is a conversion rate. If you only start with add payment info, it's 25%. So 25% of people that add their payment information also purchase something in the end. That's a calculation we can make and then use it for other estimations. For example, if we would have 160 add payment info people, we might also have 40 purchases. So it stays with this 25%. That's a thing we can calculate and see if we are right. So the real-time overview, of course, changes very quickly because it's only the last 30 minutes. What we can do normally with some reports is a comparison, but also to change the timeline. But in this case, we can't change the timeline because it's only the last 30 minutes. So we have to wait for another report to make that. And the comparison is also not working in the real-time report. Let's try it out. Let's, for example, say we want a page title shopping cart and want to see the overall data and the shopping cart data from this page. Then you see that there is no real-time data supported for this comparison. So comparison is good, but not for the real-time overview. But you can play with some filters. Again, for example, page title, home. And then you again see that there are no filters usable here in the real-time overview. So no worries if this is not working for you. It is not working in this report at all, but we will check it out in the other reports. So life cycle we have here, which is acquisition, engagement, monetization, and retention. And we have the second category, which is user with demographics and tech. So we now take a look at the customer journey. I will explain that to you in theory, and then we take a look at the different reports.